They feed the plants, they'll be alive.
Hello, we are here. We are here. Let me just make sure everything's up and running. Yeah, I think everything's done. Do you want to check your mics, guys, so we make sure we got everyone?
Chugga wugga.
Yep.
Longshanks.
Yeah.
Medivac.
Yeah.
Mr. Pickles!
Yeah. Excellent. Hello and welcome everyone to this week's thrilling episode of Mithras. Mithras is like the old-fashioned RuneQuest 6. It's based on percentile dice. It's a non-class system where people have cultures and professions, which actually dictates their skills, and then they take on various roles and engage with an adventure similar to Dungeons and Dragons, sort of like fantasy role-playing game. The only difference is combat's a little bit more involved. Characters can roll special attacks, plus combat has hit locations. Armor has specific locations as well, and of course each location has a hit point allocation, which can mean that arms, legs, and of course heads can easily be severed or pummeled, one or the other. So, as always, I like to start off the session by allowing the players the opportunity to introduce themselves, and we're going to start off with Mr. Pickles, who is here in voice.
Yes, my excellent internet service is giving me so many megabytes of download. But I'm Mr. Pickles. You can hear me, but you cannot see me, for today at least. I play the character Bartleby Fumus, who is initiate of the goddess Amriel. I'm kind of our team's cleric, so to speak, or theist more accurately. I heal, I keep people safe, sort of, and I cheer everybody on with my knowledge of monsters and history from the side. And with that, I would love to be able to throw the microphone over to Chugga Wugga.
Hi guys, I'm Chugga. I play Gulliver, the ginger-haired, freckled-faced, scrawny-looking boy who loves cheese, animals, stories, and most of all, talking. Now, Gully, as he's usually called, has travelled to the New Lands, Odis, to further his studies in sorcery at the request of his mentor and tutor, Master Healy. Since arriving here, he has become an apprentice in the Order of the Kraken, which is one of the 4 sorcery orders existing in Odis. He hopes to one day return to Master Healy so he can teach his aging mentor what he has learned. And I will pass on.
Can I just say, you have a new mentor now, though, don't you?
I have a new mentor in the actual Order of the Kraken.
Order of the Kraken, yeah. I was just thinking that, yeah. So.
Yes, but his mentor is still his mentor, his first mentor.
His first mentor, got you. Yeah, excellent. And who are you passing it on to?
I shall pass on to Longshanks EPG.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks EPG. Tonight I'm playing Hengist. He is the group's professional warrior of the party. He's most recently joined the Town Guard of Lindo under the command of Sarv Stronghammer, who may or may not have committed a brave sacrifice to allow the party to escape a couple of sessions ago? Yeah, 2 sessions ago.
Yeah.
When we were attacked in an abandoned village by, what was it Barspeak always calls them? Lizard goblins?
Yeah, those were lizard goblins, definitely.
Lizard goblins. He is a hard-hitting, heavy armor warrior. And I'll pass it on to last but not least, Medivac.
Who has just subscribed for 4 months in a row. Thank you very
well
much,
done, Medivac.
Well done, Medivac.
I forgot to do it earlier.
That means
die tonight.
you will not die. Yeah.
Unless Cambridge has something to do with it.
That's true. I'm Medivac. I play Hazra Khan. He's a nomad from the steppes who rather carelessly lost his tribe after a raid. So now he's wandering around the world, just trying to find them and trying to find an adventure where his feet may take. And he's joined this group of
motley
hardy people, not a motley crew. That's a group. And he's helping them out discover what these seeds are. Yes, and he's very good on the outside, but pretty rubbish inside. So with that, I shall pass that on to our GM in Wills.
Yeah, and the party also have two other people travelling with them at the present moment in time. They have Benjamin, who is an initiate of the same clerical order of Bartleby Fumus, and he has come along to join the party as an initiate, as an acolyte of Bartleby. And they also have the Count Bastion's advisor called Jeremiah Clubfoot. And the reason for this is as follows. The party have been hired, I think is the best word, or encouraged to go up to a place called Ubbin Falls to investigate the mysterious disconnection with the town, mainly because the Kraken, or the Order of the Kraken, the Blue Order magicians, sorcerers, can actually teleport to marked areas around the continent of Odess, and they can no longer actually port into Ubbin Falls at all. It's also a centre or a starting point for trade routes. And so Count Bastion, the ruler, the regent of Lindo, the capital city that the party know so well, hired them to go up the river on a barge to Ubbin Falls to see what is going on. They had various adventures on the way to Ubbin Falls and arrived, as the players have suggested, in an abandoned town where they were attacked by what appeared to be upright lizard goblins, very much like velociraptors. They managed to find the inn where the townsfolk appeared to have hung out their last stand, and then they were attacked yet again by a huge herd of them. Following orders from Sarv's strong arm, the party fled into the boats and headed off to where an old Knight Templar, who the party know as Simon, was meant to inhabit. And they took the boats and then went behind the waterfall into a cavern. There they had various exploits, including finding missing journals or torn up journals. They managed to drop bridges into the water. They managed to find mystical runes and got attacked by a huge giant frog. They then found a secret entrance and journeyed down, deeper and deeper, and arrived what can only be said as the sanctuary of the Templar Simon. While they were here, they noticed that there was an immense amount of water around, but Hazra got nearly cut in two after walking through a trap, and Gully quite happily teleported him around. The party split up and went in two different directions, and Hengist and Bartleby and Jeremiah found an empty coffer which probably held a similar seed to the fungal one that the party are actually carrying. At that point, a huge giant crocodile leapt out of the water, but Hazra managed to parry the bite with his spear, and the crocodile returned to the water with nothing in its grip. Unfortunately, as the party retreated, there was a sudden cry, and Jeremiah Clubfoot, the advisor to Count Bastion, who's along with the party, under the protection of Hengist, who's a member of the town guard, suddenly let out a huge scream as the crocodile rose up from the water, clamped its jaw firmly round Jeremiah's leg, and then started to slowly slip back into the water. And it was at that exact point that we left the adventure last night in preparation for this week. So I am going to move you guys over to the map. It'll take me two lots because there's lots of maps, lots of space, lots of different encounters. I'll just move us to that one. So this is us. Hengist, you have protection on, which means, remember, any location, it'll take the protection off first and then your armor. Jeremiah is not feeling too good at all at the present moment in time. Let me just call up his sheet. There we go. Yeah, he's not too good at all. He's not feeling 100%, and he's got blood pouring from a wound in his leg, and he is gripped by the giant crocodile at this precise moment in time. Okay, so let me just do this. We actually these are old initiatives. These are not your initiatives. So hang on, I just need to pick up my stat block. There you go. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is that we are going to go straight in, and we are going to... Oh, does anybody have any questions before we start?
Has luck replenished?
Yes, luck has replenished, but whatchamacallit, magic points won't have done.
Makes sense.
Okay, so any other questions?
Yeah, how long do these crocodiles take to eat somebody? Can we get a lot done while they're eating?
Well, I think this might be something that if you time, Bartleby might be able to, improve his general knowledge of these creatures just by obtaining this information. So, yeah, excellent. So, if we would like to roll some initiatives to go on the sheet, and then that would be absolutely brilliant.
Don't forget to click on your token.
Right. 13. Oh, damn it.
Oh, what if I rolled twice?
You haven't rolled
Oh,
twice.
no, sorry, no. I was looking at another token that looked like mine.
Yeah, I keep doing that. I keep thinking Bartleby's you and you're
That's
Bartleby.
right.
I'm going to have to change the colour of you. I'm going to have to make you bright pink or something just to differentiate it. Okay, so I'm just... I've got some weird information on my...
Did I hear someone say that you can use luck to reroll initiative, or is that not something you can do?
Was that Chugawugga did?
I didn't know whether or not it was possible to do it, because you can use it to re-roll a dice roll, can't you?
You can use a luck to re-roll any dice they make or swap round, or you can even force... this can be a skill roll, damage roll, or anything else that has some effect. You can have desperate effort, or you can mitigate damage.
If you swap the numbers around on your dice, you can have 81 initiative.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be...
Yes.
So
that's fine. I can't.
You could use your luck to re-roll your initiative if you so desire, but remember the roll that you have will be the one that you have. So if you actually roll below 8, then well, 8's the lowest. Is 8 the lowest you can?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it is.
I think you rolled a 1.
I did roll a 1.
So you.
I'm gonna do it.
So that'll be your luck point gone for the rest of the adventure.
Rest of the adventure. That's fine.
I'm just want to remind you about mitigating damage.
I know, but this is more important.
Amriel will protect him.
And if he doesn't, then if she doesn't, then it won't matter because he'll be dead. There'll be no need to say anything. Excellent. Okay then. So let's get straight into this. Let me just reduce that. Let me call up my combat thing. And this is round 1, turn 1, and Gulliver, you are up first.
seeing what's happening with Jeremiah, Gulliver quickly holds out his hand, and as he does, a globe of water starts to swirl in it, and he's casting a spell.
Okay. So intensity 7. It's a resist. How many? 2 turns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you are spell casting on your first turn. Excellent. Bartleby, you're up.
I would like to roll, if I can, lore monsters to see if there's anything that I could potentially scream out to help my cohorts.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Gonna go for a roll. Let's see. Bartleby.
Yeah. Your knowledge about this is that it's very big. And you also notice, you know, not necessarily for monsters, this doesn't look like to be a monster as such. It seems to be a very large replica of an animal, like a normal everyday creature. It just looks like it's been enhanced somewhat. And you do know. Just roll your locale roll for me, please.
Absolutely. In that locale.
Yeah, you do know that there are crocodiles, and they generally grip something and then pull them into the water because they tend to drown their victims rather than chomping on them.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so that's just that's a nice skill done. Okay, Hengist, you're up.
So Hengist is going to run to stand here.
Okay.
Dropping, because he was holding the chest. Dropping's a free action, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, free action.
Dropping the chest sort of around here at Bartleby's feet as he runs past.
So you're actually on the bank there rather than in the water. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wanted to stand as close as I could so I could attack the creature next turn by kicking it.
Yeah. So and then this is giant crocodile's turn. Da, da. Oh, sorry, I don't know why my rolls are, but he got 41 out of 46. And the crocodile has gripped Jeremiah's leg, and the crocodile sort of like slips back into the water. And
what did you get, sorry? A 41 out of a 46?
Yeah. Did you want to look?
Yeah, can I use a point of luck to make it reroll, please?
Yeah, by all means.
Nice.
Yeah, so it got, you can see it now, I've done it, so it failed its damage roll to bite into its leg. It's already gripped, so it starts to pull it away and into the actual water. So the crocodile's, the crocodile is literally doing for its action is moving. That's it's literally its action. So Jeremiah is going to be pulled with it, but he does have a brawn roll that can actually be rolled. Just so you know, his brawn is 47. So if somebody would like to roll it. 44. So just as the crocodile slips back into the water, Jeremiah yanks his leg out of the crocodile's mouth, and the crocodile sort of like continues to sink into the water. Jeremiah's actually in the water. Can you make an athletics check for him, please? I'll tell you what it is before you roll.
I've got 52.
No. And he actually sort of like pulls his leg out of the thing, and there's a bit of a rip of flesh and cloth. And Hengist, you notice this, the water suddenly turning this sort of like bloodshot colour as he sort of like bleeds out. He totters on the edge of the marble step, you know, as he's doing it, desperately trying to get to keep onto the side. And then at that moment he sort of like totters and falls over backwards. Hazra, sorry, you're up.
Right, I'm going to move forward this way. I'm going to put the lantern down here.
Are you putting it down or dropping it?
No, I'm going to have to put it down. I don't want to for the light to go out.
Okay then. So to put it,
action?
it is, and you've already used your action to move.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So your action.
I'll move just to here then.
Yeah. So your action will be a movement one. Yeah. And Ben is up.
Ben would like to call on the power of his dark moon god to cast a prayer spell.
Yeah, go for it.
Prayer is Meroth's prayer of death and doom, and he is going to roll.
Is this? Yeah, no.
Good job, Ben.
I was going to ask who is it heading for, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. I meant for the target, the giant.
I didn't know whether or not Ben was just going to put his arm out to one side and just tap Hengist a little bit. Hengist dives in. Okay, that's everybody done for round 1, turn 1. So we're up to a combat round 1, turn 2. And Gulliver, you're up.
Gulliver finishes off his spell casting, and as he does, the globe of water that's outstretched in his hand suddenly disappears, and a puddle of water appears just in front of him. And he's going to try to teleport Mr. Jeremiah out of the water onto dry land and away from the crocodile.
Do you actually have to have line of sight on him?
Do I no longer have line of sight on him?
Well,
I'd have to check the spell.
Because the only reason I'm saying is because can you see where Gulliver is stood? Jeremiah's now in the water, so and Hengist and Ben are in the way. So you might be able to see a bit of his head or something like that. So what we'll do, does it require line of sight?
I'm just checking now without clicking the. Oh well, let's have a look at the spell description. That should be.
It just says range 15 meters, target 1.
Being that the destination. These being that the destination is to direct observation.
Okay. So that's where he's going to.
I suppose I must be able to see him, because otherwise you would just be able to randomly. You would just be able to randomly teleport people, wouldn't you?
Okay then. So first, roll your invocation roll first, because we need to. Because if the spell doesn't come off, then we're fine. We don't need to think anything else. Okay, so the spell comes off, and what I was going to say, because it's rather hard to see him, it was going to be a hard roll. So 41 out of 47 will do it. However, has Jeremiah been teleported before?
No.
No. So
be allowed an evade roll.
Yeah, so his evade is 27. Which he fails. Whereabouts did you want him?
He is just going to appear here.
Yeah, okay then. So that was a hard roll because of the lack of visual representation of him. So remember that in future. And user sort of like that, and he suddenly appears behind you and sort of like appears on the floor, still oozing blood. Hengist, you notice that the form of Jeremiah disappears in front from the water. The crocodile is in the water, but submerged now, as if he tried to take him down, and then he's been ripped out of his jaw. Bartleby, you up? Don't forget to knock your magic points off. Go with it.
Let's see. I was just confirming because I'd like to perform a miracle since I can probably see our club-footed friend on the ground there bleeding and oozing water. Yeah.
When are you? Yeah. So he sort of like the. What? Tell me what you want. Which spell you want to do?
I was wanting to do heal wound. I just wanted to confirm. It doesn't look like there's a range, so I would need to go over and touch him, I presume.
Yeah.
Okay,
think...
I'll spend my turn running over there then.
Well, yeah, that probably makes more sense in any case, because you will sort of like you will probably start moving towards him while he's in the water, and then see him move to one side, and then you can go down and say, "Wait, is it heal wound that you're doing?"
Yeah, but I think I need to be able to touch him. And besides, it says I need to pick up specific body parts, so I want to go over there and see if he's bleeding from both legs or if it's just one leg. Confirm for Bartleby at least.
Yeah, that sounds. So you will do your movement to get there, and then that'll be it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, anything that has a range on it is ranged. Everything else is actually touch.
Cool. Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. Okay. So, Hengist, you're up on 17.
So Hengist is going to use this action to draw his sword, and he's also going to shout out to the gully, "Good thinking, gully!"
Are you sword and shield now then, or two-handed?
Just sword. He's only got it in one hand at the moment, but he will be doing sword and shield probably.
Okay. So on 13, the crocodile suddenly realizes he has nothing in its mouth anymore, and almost like because of the sheer blood frenzy of the blood in the water, the crocodile launches itself back out of the water towards you, Hengist. So this is its attack.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nice. 8.
That's a good roll.
Not a crit.
No, because it's only it's
5 or below for a crit.
yeah. Well done. Yeah.
Hengist is going to try and parry.
Okay, cool. Go for it. Yeah. So the thing comes whooshing out and sort of like tries to clamp its jaws around you. You manage to get your sword blade in the way. That sort of like prevents it sort of like grabbing hold of you. You will therefore, however, take half damage because I'm larger than you. So you will take, and this will come off a random location that I'll tell you in a second. Your left leg, lo and behold, and it is going to be 1d8.
Was it? Is it?
So 2 points of damage. So roll 1d3 first.
So that's exclamation mark roll, isn't it? Was it slash roll?
/roll.
/roll.
1d3. Or /r roll 1d3.
1.
Yeah, so the protection spell absorbs one of it, which means that another one's coming through, which will probably hit your armor and prevent that going any further. And your protection spell is now gone. Okay.
You see sort of the teeth wrap around Hengist's left leg, and you see it for a briefest moment. You see a white shimmering light before that shatters, and then you just hear of teeth grating down his metal greaves.
Excellent. And I'm just moving you so you're not overlapping people. There we go. Who's up next? Hasra, you're up.
Yep, I'm going to put down the lantern just there. And yes, that's all I can do.
Yeah.
I'll put down.
Okay, so you stick down the lantern. That's your action. Okay, then. So we're up now to Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin. What can Benjamin even do? He's not going to try and call his dark god down onto the crocodile anymore. I guess he's gonna hold his hammer and prepare to parry if necessary.
Okay, cool. So he can delay his action ready to the next one. Okay, excellent. Turn 3 for anybody who's left. Gully?
Yeah, so as soon as Jeremiah appears at Gulliver's feet, he again holds out his hand and a globe of water starts to swirl in it. He's concentrating on his spell.
Okay, cool. And yeah, because if you cancel the spell, Jeremiah's going to end up back in the water, isn't he? right next to the crocodile. Sweet. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yes. Hengist doesn't have any moves left.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I have one.
Sorry, who has one?
I have one. Look, so I moved there. I've just put down the lantern, so I've still got another move.
Yeah, cool. So you will go on 12 then.
Yep.
Do you want to do?
My spear has a long reach. Will that reach across the one square there?
No. Reach occurs when two people are in combat, i.e. their tokens are touching each other, but then it comes into action. So, for example, if Bartleby was fighting you and he had a dagger and you had a spear, then at long reach you can hit him with your spear, but he can only hit the weapon with his dagger. However, if Bartleby said to me, I wish you to close range, then he will actually step within the range of your short spear. So you cannot use your spear to its full potential, so you only use a butt attack on it, but he will be able to hit you then, and then that'll be it.
Yep. In which case I'll move up just to that square.
Yeah, cool. So if you just hold the Alt key down, that'll allow you to move. There
That explains so much as holding control down.
Yeah, not control. Excellent. And I think that's it then. Yeah, for that round. Yeah, brilliant.
Yep.
So we're going into combat round 2, and this is turn 1. So people, your fatigue rolls will be done at the end of this for people who can only do 2 rounds. Okay, Gulliver, you're up.
Gulliver is still concentrating on his teleport spell.
Okay, excellent. Bartleby, you're up.
I'd like to do a quick scan with my eyes, looking. It's just his leg that's butchered up.
Yeah, it's literally his leg that is not very good at all. So you can a heal wound will bring a single location back to its full hit points. It's only a serious wound. It's not a major wound at all.
Okay,
So-
that answers everything. Then I would like to exhort the power of Amriel to bring this leg back to its proper.
Excellent. So
location.
you are a initiate.
Yes.
Yeah. So that'll take 1 turn, which would be this turn. So off you go. Roll to see whether or not Amriel is looking down on you today.
I bet she's gonna frown. Can I use a luck point to reroll?
You certainly can.
Let me mark that off. All right, Amriel, let's work together today. Let's bring this leg back.
She obviously hears your second plea, and Jeremiah's leg is healed. Tell me how it happens, please.
I would imagine like the ceiling kind of it opens up in a weird kind of only in your mind way, and you can see light coming down from the heavens despite us being deep underground, and just beaming down onto his leg and turning it a bright light until it just flashes, and it's all healed up.
Excellent. So remember, take that off your devotion pool, not
Yes.
your magic pool. Yeah. Excellent. So that's Bartleby casting spell. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist is going to use this opportunity after his initial parry to get his shield out and equip his shield on his left hand.
Okay, so you're readying a weapon. Excellent. Crocodile comes and does its next bite attack, or this bite attack on Hengist.
Cool.
And misses. And Hazra, you're up.
Right, I'm going to spear this crocodile.
Cool, go for it. 28 certainly does
It's a hit.
Okay, hit location first.
Well, special first.
Special first, then
Special-
hit location.
Choose location, if I can.
Yeah, which location? He has tail, hind, right hind, left hind, hindquarters, forequarters, right front leg, left front leg, and head.
Head, please.
Okay, go for it. So just do your damage then, please. 2 points of damage. Yeah, so you whack your you thrust your spear into the crocodile's head, and it just glances off its natural bony armor, its scales, and it just sort of like deflects it slightly, and you just sort of like almost like go like that and sort of like slice across it, and that's it. Ben.
Let's see. Ben really doesn't have much of a ranged attack. He's gonna he's actually gonna move onto the bridge, kind of over here.
Yeah,
if that's acceptable.
That's fine.
He's gonna get a good attack position if this crocodile tries to come up at us.
Cool.
He's not going to leap at it using athletics and bash it with his hammer as he lands.
He contemplates that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Gulliver, round 2.
Unfortunately, Gulliver is still locked in his spell concentration.
Excellent. And Bartleby, 18.
Bartleby, let's see. Okay. Okay, I've got a plan here. Since Amriel's working with me, I'm going to pray loudly at the back of Hengist's head for Amriel to aid us one last time and to destroy this beast that has offended us. I'm trying to cast this, and I'm going to roll now, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Bam.
Yes, she's obviously looking down on you. Tell me how it manifests itself.
I want Hengist's sword to just start glowing immensely with a sharp, brilliant light.
Cool. So that will take it up one level, Hengist, as Blade Sharp infuses your weapon. Let me just pop it on your token for you. There you go. That will last to the end of this combat. Crocodile's turn. The crocodile sort of like you whacked your spear off it, and after gaining a mouthful of tin from its last jaw, and also sensing that it's already tried desperately to have a nibble of you once before, Hazra, it relaunches its attack at you this time. And it hits with 31 out of 46.
Right, in which case I shall... Was it my athletics I could use to dodge out the way?
Evade.
Evade.
So if you evade, you'll need an action point, and it will put you in a square away from the monster, and you will end up prone.
Oh no, it was parry, wasn't it? Sorry.
Parry is blocking the attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that is just your combat style.
Yes.
Okay, so you fail. Do you wish to use luck on that?
It would only allow you to re-roll.
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay,
I
so
will use a point of luck on that. Yeah.
cross off your luck and re-roll it.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. So you parry the huge jaw as it comes in, but as always, its thing is bigger. So you take 4 points of damage in your chest.
Right.
Sorry,
Is
2
that
points.
hard?
Yeah.
2 points.
Yeah.
That's brilliant stuff. That's nothing. That it nibbles at my cloth and then
It nibbles
away.
at your nipple, and then and that's it. This crocodile now is actually half out of the water. So in order to mirror this, what's actually happening is that if you imagine Hengist and Hazra, you're down a bit. and the crocodile is it's sort of like got its four paws on the actual marble, and it's out, and you can see, both of you can see that there's tiny bits of Jeremiah's flesh sort of like in between its teeth, and there's a lot of blood in the water pooling around the place. And Ben's up.
Yeah. Ben doesn't have any knives on him, does he?
I don't think.
It's kind of a weird question, I know, but
Just two throwing hammers and a javelin.
What's his combat style?
he has two combat styles. One being silent knives and the other being hammer blow. And I was wondering if he had any knives.
Okay, so what I will say, because his major silent knives was his sort of like his previous occupation as almost like an assassin. So this is more sort of, his hammer is his major weapon at the moment. But we'll say that he keeps two throwing knives around, secreted on his person. So he can, this round, he can actually switch his hammer to his right hand and draw one of his knives, if that's what you wish him to do.
Yeah, I'm going to have him do that as he's contemplating whether a dagger would even go through this thick hide.
Excellent. And that's it. Yeah? All done? For combat round 2? So, combat round 2, this is a 3. Gulliver, you're sustaining your spell?
Gulliver's still sustaining his spell, but the rest of you hear him shout from behind, "Kill him fast!"
As beads of perspiration start to form on Gully's brow, or is that
He
just
gets a bit helpless, to be honest with you.
or is it just like a splash of water?
He could have killed it by now.
Bartleby, what would you like to do?
Yeah,
Oh no, you don't have any more actions. Hengist?
Hengist is going to attack.
Okay.
Oh no, wrong button. I didn't want to press the plus button. There we go.
That hits.
Cool. Hengist
Special
is
first.
Going to. Can you do press advantage?
Which does what?
Foe is forced to remain on the defensive and cannot attack on their next turn.
And is it resisted?
And does it need to be attacking you? Is more the point.
Yeah, because it's not actually attacking you.
I'm using the cheat sheet things that you sent out, and it doesn't actually say. Hang on, let's go and open the rule book. I didn't open that.
While Hengist is looking up that, is it still the 12th of Ferrist?
Yes, we haven't had. When was the 12th? No, because you had a rest in the cavern.
Oh, yeah. So we might be on the 13th, yeah?
So it'd be the 13th. The press advantage, number 1, it has to be an opponent. This allows the attacker to potentially establish an unbroken series of attack while the defender desperately blocks. It is only effective against foes concerned with defending themselves. Now, as you will have seen, the crocodile's not actually defending because you're getting your thing straight off. Yeah.
Where's my... Okay, that's fine. Hengist will just use bleed then.
Okay, cool.
And then you want 1d20.
Hit location. Six. That is on one of its hind legs. Go for it. Damage.
Okay, and then you see this quick flick of shimmering white blade.
That's with the blade sharp on, isn't it?
It is with blade sharp. Yeah, I put it in the damage box.
Yeah,
so I don't have to.
So that's 11 points to his hind leg.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, so you swipe out with your sword as this crocodile tries to get itself even further out of the water and onto the marble. This is his endurance check against it, because it's got... Oh, I don't believe that I failed that roll.
Nice.
Do you have any luck?
No, monsters don't
Oh,
have
okay.
luck. Yeah. Yeah, so you swipe across it, and it just sort of like bites through his hind leg, and the crocodile's leg is just sort of like let me just make sure 8, 4. Yeah, it actually sort of like slices through it and actually takes the hind leg off the crocodile off completely. Yeah. You also notice that the crocodile seems to start to slip back into the water. Hashra, you're up.
Right, as it's slipping back, I will just have a quick
Quick
poke at him
poke.
again.
Yeah.
Quick poke, yes.
Nice.
It's a crit.
Nice quick probe.
Okay, so you have 2 specials coming up.
Okay, I will again choose location.
Please impale. Please impale.
No.
You can actually max damage because it's a crit.
Don't
Yes,
give him
max damage, please.
clues.
Yes.
Sugar Wooger's marking us.
Let me
Okay.
put a star next to that one, max damage. Yes, I choose location, max damage, and it'll be head.
Head, and what will be your max damage?
It will be 9.
9. 6. Yeah, so you whack it into the head, and you actually penetrate through the armor. It's sort of like hard outer scales, and you feel it sort of like sink almost into the brain cavity through the skull, almost like pithing this crocodile, and then it continues to slide, and as it slides off, it sort of like slides off your spear and falls, heads off. Ben.
I don't think Ben has extra actions here. He's just been walking slowly.
All right, he no more action. Excellent. And so the crocodile just sort of like sinks down further and further and further under the water, and you suddenly, Hazra and Hengist, you suddenly realise how deep this is, because you see it just sort of like sink further and further away, and then it actually disappears into the murk of the water that is now, beforehand it wasn't silty, it was clear up at the top layers, but now there's just this mass pool of blood that's emanating from this point and sort of like flowing round the corner now as the crocodile disappears into the depths. Okay, we are out of combat. Gully, what would you like to do?
Gulliver, still holding the spell, is going to,
It's a
as the
host.
crocodile submerges itself, filling up the pool with blood,
Yeah.
and not seeing it coming back up, Gulliver's going to say, "I'm going to release the spell. Get ready to grab him out the water."
Angus will put both his sword and shield down and move to the edge, roughly where he remembers Jeremiah to have been floating, so within reaching distance to pull him out.
And Hazra will drop his spear and be ready to assist and not be primary on this. Just
Cool.
Once that's done, Gulliver's going to release the spell.
Excellent. So Jeremiah sort of like suddenly appears in the water, thrashing around rather a lot as he sort of like struggles to sort of like keep his head above the water. Has somebody changed? You've changed camera locations.
Who? I turned mine off. briefly.
Oh, yeah, it affects.
All right. Sorry. But we
Anyway,
decided that it didn't.
Yeah, no. I think because when we tested it, there was only 2 people
Right.
in.
Just.
But
right.
now it should be fine.
Okay, I'm not in the stream.
I'm Hengist.
Unlucky.
Right.
I don't know who I am.
Just do it again.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. No, sorry. No, everybody's back. Sorry.
Yeah, everybody's.
Must be a delay. Must be a delay on the stream.
Everybody's. Hang on, I'm just putting. Thank you, Idaron. I'm just putting Hazra and.
Turn it back on.
Yep. Yep, that's it. Everybody's in the right place. Cool.
Yeah.
So Hengist is going to reach out as far as he can and yell to Jeremiah, "Grab my arm!"
Yeah, so he's sort of like thrashing around in the thing. So you can Hazra can assist you in here. So Hazra, what's your brawn roll?
My brawn roll is 23.
23. So you can add 2 onto your roll, and then just roll your brawn roll.
Add 2.
Yeah, so you reach in and manage to grab Jeremiah and sort of like haul him out, and he sort of like is sort of like flop. His wound is healed, but he's got all his it's also like ripped where his pantaloons were, and he's just sort of like he's sort of like that's the second time today that he's been pushed into the water of various description. He says, I don't really know what's going on here.
You shouldn't go running off, Jeremiah, like you did just then.
He sort of like looks up at you, Hengist, and says, You are supposed to be protecting me, guard Hengist.
Jeremiah, friend, if you run, nobody can protect you.
From now on, I'm going to stand right next to guard Hengist at all times.
That's a very good idea.
That way I can keep an eye on you.
But perhaps we should leave this place just in case there's actually more of those things.
I did find a chest gully that seems to be very similar to one that we've already seen. It was lying, and then Hengist points to off this way, open over the on one of the open areas over there.
Can I just? Sorry.
No, go for it.
No. Mine was. Can I just take a note of where the blood's flowing, where the current's going?
Yeah, there's not actually a current of any description. What happened was that as the crocodile submerged and slipped away, it just sort of like agitated the water.
Right.
Yeah, so, but you currently it is going, it is slowly oozing around here.
Yep.
In that direction.
Could I investigate Hazra's leg? To see that it's injured, presumably still.
Yeah, by all means. Hazra, how injured is your leg?
You healed me up last time. It's only a couple of points, wasn't it?
I thought I just saw you get bitten by that crocodile again.
No, so my armor took care of that. Sorry.
It was his
Okay.
chest, yeah.
My cloth on my arm is very strong.
You can see that his cloth
full.
armor is just sort of like ripped slightly, revealing a bit of a chest.
Hairy chest.
I want to try something. I'm going to pray for your torn clothing. That Amriel will bring clothing to those who need it, which is you right here.
I know what's coming.
Well, this is what I was going to try and do.
Yeah.
And
wow, she is looking down on you tonight. Yeah, and she. How do you repair?
I probably just put my hand on the bare spots on your chest and say, "Lack of clothing, be gone." and just a flash of a brief flash of white light, and then your
And
your arm
yeah,
is there.
the fabric slowly knits back across, and you can't even notice the tear, Hazra. It looks as good as new, from where the sort of like the tear was from the crocodile's mouth.
Thank you, friend Bartleby. You are an amazing seamstress.
Oh,
Thank you,
bless
Hasser. I'll take that compliment to the grave.
Which may be sooner than sorry.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now I think we better get out of here. Now that we've fixed our shirts.
Yes.
From what I remember, this bit here, there was no exits to it, was there? It was just sort of like
Yeah, that was just an enclosed area.
You didn't check it though. Because
No.
if you remember, you were just
Chased
stood
out.
on the bank.
right.
That's all you did, and when you were through, you could look up and see the rest of the party further up.
Then we got attacked and ran through the hole.
Correct. Yeah.
So here, these were just alcoves, weren't they?
Yeah, they were just sort of like alcoves into the as if something would once stood there.
Right.
Were the top ones alcoves, or was that opening into another room?
No, those.
Yeah, these up here, which you can see from your light, or you should be able to. That actually goes through like a corridor. There's a corridor beyond it.
This trap didn't reset itself, did it?
No, it
blade
looks like it's like a
activated.
no, it's just sort of like hanging down from when it swung across.
Okay, and at the moment we've got a lantern which is currently on the floor.
Yeah, which I'll pick back up again.
Okay.
So yeah, Hengist will gather he'll pick his sword and shield up. He'll sheath his sword, but leave his shield equipped on his left arm, and then he's going to say, "I think we should gather the box and then maybe explore the corridor up to our north." And he sort of points with his right arm up that way. There might be a way out that way.
Are we sure that the rest of this cabin is clear?
Well,
No.
let's check in this room where we came from, where we were first attacked, and then perhaps we may find something in there. We may not, but at least we'll know.
Go ahead.
Bartleby,
Yes.
what's the? Do you know when you see whether or not something's magical?
Yes.
How far can you see?
I don't know. Do you think there might be something underneath the water that I might be able to see with the eyes of Amriel?
I'm just concerned that maybe somebody got attacked by that giant lizard, and they had the seed in the coffer, and it might have fallen in.
Oh, that would not be good, Gulliver. Not good at all. Yeah, give me some space here, guys. I will. I'll see what I can see. And with that, I'd like to move down about over here if I can. But not in the water.
Maybe on the other place where we found the coffer.
Yes, in the
Because if it was going to fall, it would have fallen straight down. This way, Bartleby. This way.
Bartleby just stands there for a moment, contemplating, and then says, "Yeah, you're right. That makes much more sense."
Hasra, bring the light. So we're going to go over here, because this is where the coffer was found.
Correct.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll follow Gulliver, and then I will start waving my arms in the grand prayer ritual of seeing. Oh man,
Gulliver's just going
Amriel.
to sort of like peer over, as if looking down in the water to see whether or not he can see anything.
Big money. Oh my gosh.
You are on form tonight, Mr. Bartleby.
Amriel loves me.
Yeah, so once you switch your sight into your witch sight, you suddenly notice that the coffer was left here, wasn't it?
I was about to say, Angus had dropped the coffer at Bartleby's feet over here.
Okay.
But as he passes it, he picks it up and sticks it
Okay.
one-handed into his rucksack.
So, Bartleby, the first thing that you notice is that the coffer that Hengist has before he puts it into his rucksack is actually faintly radiating magic from the inside. It's almost like residual magic, as if something was in there, but now has gone. You also notice that this whole place has a faint hum of magic. It appears that the water, the walls, the paving slabs, the pillars, everything seems to almost like radiate a slight essence of magic, as if it's either been created with it or has held it at one point. When you look at the water is not magical, but you can't see down. There's nothing like a seed glowing or anything like that. Hengist, did you say you put the coffer in your backpack?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my rucksack.
Yeah. Don't forget to adjust
I've just done it.
encumbrance. Yeah.
Bartleby will look around with an expression of wonder and amazement, like a kid at Disneyland, and I'll say to Gulliver, everything's magical here. This place must be blessed by Amriel for how much it's glowing. How glowing is Gulliver when I look at him?
Yeah, your witch sight. I don't think it actually.
I guess if he had any active magic on him.
Yeah.
You want to, and let's oppose it with willpower.
Yeah, you can.
Oh yeah, there is that.
I don't think you have any active magic.
No, because I lost my throwing stone. The only other thing that I may have is my shriveled up bird foot.
Yeah.
I remember what I got off of that. So I'm just going to stare at Gulliver and smile.
Yeah. Cool.
Gulliver,
Hazra, you do notice that just here, there's the blood has started to sort of like permeate around. It's not coming from the surface. It's not as if it's coming. It's almost like coming from underneath and clouding up.
Being pushed up like a
Yeah.
Gulliver sort of like look at Bartleby, who's smiling at him, and then after a few moments he'll say, "Is it there, Bartleby? Can you see it?"
I can't see any seed down in the depths, but the walls of this place, the floor, is so beautiful, the glowing. I want to take the satchel of Celep out of my bag as I'm saying this, open it up and take like a handful and just throw it in the water.
Yeah.
Gulliver will look dismayed that Bartleby hasn't found the seed, and he'll just say, "Well, whoever's had it must have carried on with it."
The spice isn't magical at all. It just sort of like sinks into the water, letting off a faint dye effect as it hits it, as if you've put something like paprika into the water.
Gulliver's going to say to Bartleby, "Do you think it's one of the effects of the seed that's making everything big?"
It could be, Gulliver, though what I'm most curious about is if that's true, then does that mean that the holder of the seed would still hold that seed, or would these creatures just do what they wish to do if the holder died?
That lizard was just a normal sized lizard, but it wasn't until the seed fell out of its coffer that all of a sudden it became a big one.
Ooh, that would explain these giant creatures we've been seeing.
Yeah, because there was those big beetles as well, weren't there? And we encountered the big scorpion as well, but you weren't there, and I don't think that was the seed.
We can't be sure anymore. But
Bartleby, roll a history roll for me, please.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, getting that history.
This is where it goes. Oh God.
I'm still rolling tonight.
You do remember from the dusty tomes that you read or were reading about these seeds back in your church that one of the seeds, just like yours, has the power to grow fungal growth. You do know that some of the other seeds were capable of summoning creatures, which you've seen already, but also to transform creatures. So obviously, if you had a seed that was any magical item that was actually had the power to bring forth worms, little earthworms wouldn't be appropriately a suitable magical power. So it's likely to be enhanced worms, like of the colour purple or something like that.
And the people who had these seeds in the stories, they were able to control their monsters.
Yeah, well, they were the people that they like the sorcerers who had them that did the attack on Odys. Oh yes, they definitely either controlled them or summoned them forth and just let them run riot.
So they could, like, if you lost the seed or if you decided you didn't really care about controlling, you could just say to do whatever, and then you'd have a horde of snake goblins attacking villages. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, people are irresponsible with their seeds.
I think we've
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Catch up with Simon.
I think that's a good idea, Gully. I think we should definitely be pressing on fast.
On to where, though?
Well, we've got two choices. We either go back and face the raptors and maybe find Sav, or we head north.
So you currently you have two options. You can go north through the thing, or the rest of you, if you only stood here, so you saw the bottom of the chain, but you didn't investigate it at all. Just to remind you from last time.
So
I think Hazra, you actually got to here.
That's
when the crocodile attacked you.
So I'll have a walk around there.
Gulliver's going to fall in behind.
Okay, so just wait there. So Gulliver, you're falling behind. You can walk behind him. And Bartleby and Ben, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna sit right here in the middle of this kind of area and soak in all of the color as long as my witch sight will last. If it already turned off, I'm still gonna soak in the room.
Okay, so Ben is stand and protect you as always.
That's nice.
Hengist and Jeremiah, what are you guys doing?
Hengist with Jeremiah in tow are going to move up just to the other side of this entrance. Oh, I can't see anything. Just like.
Are you going through the entrance? Yeah.
Just like just standing. Yeah.
Okay.
So the entrance is just behind us, just to have a peek down to see what we can see, but we can't see anything.
Yeah. So you step through the entrance. Could you make evade roll for me, please?
Make an evade roll.
And Jeremiah needs one as well. His evade is 26.
Nice.
Jesus. Yep.
There's mine.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so as you step through, your sort of like warrior instincts pick up an audible like that. And all of a sudden, this similar blade that from down and the other entrance that nearly got Hazra swings down. You're luckily, you sort of like your warrior instincts take ownership of you and sort of like pushes you. You sort of like step back away from it as it swings through. However, Jeremiah lacks that those instincts at all, and the blade comes shooting down onto him.
Does he have any luck, Jeremiah?
No.
You just hear Hengist shout, "Watch out!"
And he will take. It comes whacking down, and it whacks into his left arm, and the blade sinks into it, and everybody else, you hear Jeremiah letting out this horrendous cry as this blade slices into his arm. It doesn't. It sort of like goes through his cloth and sort of like embeds itself in, and he starts for not for the first time this adventure starts to sort of like drip blood down his arm, and he starts to cry out in pain and anguish.
Well, if you want to be out of the town guard,
Hengist, what would you like to do?
Hengist is going to call out, Bartleby, I need your help. And then he's going to try and console Jeremiah enough to be able to have a brief look at to see if the blade trap's still stuck in his arm, or if
the blade is still in his arm. Yeah.
Just tell him he's got a bigger weapon now.
I'm just going to say, stay still.
Okay.
Don't move.
Okay, Bartleby, you up?
I say, only a few meters away from them, I say to Benjamin, I think I'm needed. And then stroll on over
Benjamin sort of like looks at you and says, again.
there. You know it. I'll make my way over there. Trying to pull out my first aid kit, but that just makes me walk slower in the process.
Yeah.
And
so
once I get over there,
yeah,
go for it.
By the time you get there, you know, there's blood started to pool on the floor, and it's sort of like running down Jeremiah's arm and sort of like dripping off, and he's sort of like quite crying out in pain as it falls off and falls onto the floor. You can try to is the idea to remove the blade and then to bandage it up? Is that
yes, but also to hurt his feelings in the process.
okay? So first of all, roll your healing skill to remove the blade.
Absolutely, and this is where I will go wrong. Or not.
Yeah, so you actually do a really good roll, and so you actually manage to remove the blade and put your bandage over the wound to apply pressure. And just to let you know, if you had failed that roll, he would have taken more hit points of damage on his location. And then roll your I think it's 1d3, isn't it?
I believe so, but I could double check if you'd like.
No, I've got it here, I think.
Oh, excellent. I'm not going to double check.
Yeah.
Rolling D3.
1d3, yeah.
Big money.
Yeah, so and you sort of like bandage up his arm, and he sort of like sobs, and he turns around to you, Hengist, and says, "You did that on purpose. You lured me.
Not.
You do not talk to your superior like that, guardsman. You lured me into this situation. I saw you dive back out the way of that blade and allow it to hit me. Master Bartleby, I am in your debt for your kind healing skills. This is twice. You can guarantee I will be having very positive words with the Count about your keenness to protect his advisor." And he sort of like looks at Hengist and says, "Unlike certain people in the Count's employment."
Was there only one blade or was there two?
There was one blade, so as it came down, Hengist moved out the way with his evade roll, and so it continued on. And
So if Hengist has chosen not to evade, would he have taken it and Jeremiah not get hit?
yeah, it would have stopped with Hengist. It would have just gone into Hengist, and most likely, and I mean, it was a D8 that I rolled, so.
I didn't know whether or not there was sort of like a blade.
No,
to
it
mine.
wasn't like a pincer
Yeah.
movement or anything like
Okay.
that. Okay, so down here at the bottom, Hazra, you get down this. There's all this commotion up at the top.
Gulliver's going to get really close to Hazra and say, "I think Hengist is in trouble again."
Yeah, I think you're right, Fern Gully. He must stop using him for fine traps.
Yeah, what do you two want to do down here? So just to
Okay,
let you know, the steps that you are on, Hazra, go up to this raised platform. If you remember, on the opposite side, it's just a step up. Yeah. It's only about 0.5 meter in height, so it's not a steep incline or not. The water is all on one level, and it looks like there is no way underneath this.
It's a solid pillar.
Yeah, from what you can see. Roll a perception roll for me.
Yep.
Both of us, or
no, just or you. Yeah, you can both do it if you wish.
I can see the moon from here.
Well, yeah. So I was going to say, Hazra, you can actually augment it with your survival skill as well, but you don't need to. So, but yeah, it's definitely a solid wall there. So it doesn't look like the water's flowing underneath this part at all. This seems to be some kind of dip. You can't see what's in it or anything like that from this distance.
As we get to the bottom of the stairs, Gulliver's going to put his hand on Hazra's shoulder and he's going to say, Hazra, wait.
I'll wait.
There's something not right here. Oh, only step on the purple squares.
There's green or there's white. Yes, I will only step on the purple squares.
Also on the green squares.
I'm going to check the floor. Can I push the tiles with my spear before I go onto it?
Yes, roll a brawn roll for me, please.
Brawn. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I will step forward.
Sounds like somebody's worshipping in the background.
I know, it's the Queen's birthday thingy, and it's
okay.
Kevin.
Yeah, so you press the tiles seem very solid, if a bit damp, a bit slick with water, but apart from that, they're absolutely fine.
I will be keeping an eye out as well for any. Now that I've seen the wire trap that was on the floor down there, I'll be watching out for those.
Okay, so roll your survival roll. Just roll 1d100 to me.
Which 1d100 to you?
Blind roll or
no, just roll 1d100, and then tell me what your perception and your survival are. Okay.
My survival is 55.
Okay, and your perception?
My perception is 64.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you head round. You decide where you want to go as you sort of like keep an eye out for traps, etc.
So I'm just going to head and have a look what's in this dip here.
Gulliver's just going to walk down slowly, normally behind Hazra.
Yeah. Okay. So move yourself to where. Yeah. So it looks like it once held water. There is a small amount of water in the bottom now. Still, it's very stagnant. The water in the actual trough roundabout was not stagnant, if you remember, but this one looks like it definitely is. You also notice that it looks like the curvature of the bowl has been almost like eroded. It's quite bumpy. It's not smooth like everywhere else, almost as if something's been in here, almost like in a washing machine, you know, whirling round over and over and over and over again.
Gulliver wants to look up to see whether or not there's anything on the ceiling above where this is.
Okay, make a perception.
I don't know how high the ceiling is in this.
It's just normal height, yeah. Just roll a perception roll for me, please.
Ooh,
yeah, it looks just like the rest of the place. It doesn't look any different. Slightly domed, and following the shape of the walls.
What do you think they're for, Hazra?
I don't know, friend Gully. Does this just holds water? It doesn't go through into the water below. It just so. Do they refill them? Where does the water come from?
Gulliver wants to he wants to reach into his tunic and he wants to come out with one of his one of his throwing stones that he has,
Yeah.
and he wants to move to the side here.
Yeah.
And then he wants to throw it into the water, into the stagnant water.
Yeah, the water's only about... Can you see my camera?
Right, yeah. So it's hardly...
Yeah.
He's going to throw it in anyway to see whether or not it...
Yeah, so it just sort of like plops into the water and hits the marble surface below. You can see it just there. There might have been some kind of slight film over the top of it, from its being stagnant, but that's about it.
It doesn't look like it does anything.
So why again it is stagnant and the rest were not? Strange.
I don't know. Maybe Bartleby knows. I don't know much about water, which is surprising because I follow the Kraken.
Ah.
Ben shouts down from up the top. He says, "Do you find anything?"
Just some water.
Seems
It's
to be-
stagnant.
Seems to be plenty of water in this place.
No. I'll go. We'll go back and I'll explain to Bartleby and Ben what we've seen and about the stagnant water and why is that one stagnant and the other ones aren't. And no, it's strange.
You can just move yourself up there.
Gulliver's going to keep staring down in this thing until the torchlight nearly goes, the lantern nearly goes, and then he's quickly going to turn around and run after Hazra.
So,
Stagnant water, you say?
Mm.
Well, I believe that's probably because it's not moving. And I'm sure that the water underneath us right here is probably moving. We just can't see the little tunnels that allow it to move out, would be my guess.
you, Hazra and Gulliver, when you arrive, you notice that Jeremiah's looking rather forlorn and has his his right hand on his left bicep, where you can see that there's fresh bandages that tiny Bartleby has. Did somebody do a shrink spell on Bartleby?
Poor lad.
Friend Jeremiah, what has happened to you?
He says, I was forced into a swinging blade. And Hazra, you can see the blade just sort of like out of sight, similar to the trap that you set off. I was used as bait, it would appear.
Well,
Is there any markings on the side of the wall that might say that the water level at one point was higher in this chamber? And that these might have been underwater at one point. These platforms.
Yeah, you can tell. This is what you can see. So the marble surface is damp and wet, but you do notice that there's water dripping from the ceiling. You looking around. You don't think so. It wouldn't account for so many things. For example, why have raised platforms if it was all going to be covered in water? It seems strange that you think it's probably always been like this. In this size.
Can I go back up here and just have a look at these bowls here? Now, do they go all the way through as well, or are they like the other one?
They're like the other one, but they have no water in them.
Oh no! Right, they have no water in. Right.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't understand because you set off the trap, didn't you, Hazra, to get into
that? Yes.
So why have a trap for something that doesn't go anywhere?
Can I just say in the chat, I've just asked my 8-ball in my chat. I just said, will Jeremiah die by the end of the adventure? And the 8-ball replies, leaning towards no. So,
Not on our watch.
Yes.
so
Jeremiah, get a scout out ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremiah, go attack that giant.
You're safe as beans.
I've got an idea before we go. It's something that we should try. Come back with me, Hazra. I just want to try something. And Gulliver's going to quickly start going back round this way.
Okay.
And once he gets down here, with Hazra gets there with the torch, in your own time.
Sorry, I clicked open a window for some reason.
And he's gonna. Once he gets here, he's gonna take his backpack. No, he's going to leave his backpack off, but he's going to undo the metal handle that's holding his helmet on, which is also the party's cooking pot. And he's going to start scooping up water from here and putting it in here to see what happens.
Yeah, so you start scooping up the water, and it just fills up the... Do you wish to fill it right up to the top, or...?
Yeah, he wants to keep going until it's up to the top.
Yeah, so Hazra, you notice that you'll actually have to come down to here to do it, Gulliver.
Right.
Because remember, that is half a metre up. So
Right.
unless you want to lean over the edge. You can lean over the edge if you wish.
No, he'll
So Hazra, you watch Gulliver filling it up and then coming up and tipping it out, and after about 6 or 7 goes, the water level is slowly coming up, Gulliver, in this one. Do you just want to carry on?
He wants to do it until it's right the way up to the top.
Okay then. So we'll nip back up to the top. What do you four wish to do? You can hear this, Bartleby. You can hear that this swooshing of water where Hazra and Gulliver went.
I'll add more of the up to the water then. A spice for our dead friend that we killed that wasn't a friend.
And it's so Hengist, is there anything that you wanted to do?
Hengist is just going to sort of be keeping an eye out on everyone and not meeting, very carefully not meeting Jeremiah's eye.
Yeah, and
but glancing towards him every so often.
Yeah, and every time you do glance towards him, he's not avoiding your gaze at all. He's just looking at you, frowning, stroking his arm like this, and every now and again you hear him sort of like going, "Wait till I get back." Yes, Gulliver. So, about a few minutes of whooshing of water, you manage to fill up this bottom thing up to where you think it would be up to the top.
As he's there putting in the last one, he's sort of like getting really excited, and then nothing happens.
No, it literally fills up.
Well, it didn't work. I thought maybe filling it up with water was going to activate something.
Maybe the other 4 have to be filled too.
But this one's by itself.
Mm.
You don't think it was like a I don't know, like where the water was coming up from, do you? There's no hole in the bottom, is there?
No, there is no hole.
No. Let's go. Gulliver's going to start heading back.
Okay.
He's going to put his
I'll follow
helmet back on as he goes round.
Yeah, it's a bit damp because of the water. Okay, are you planning on heading down this corridor?
We're going to be... Well, Gulliver's going to say, I can't see what else we can do here.
We can only follow the tunnel and hope that we catch up with Knight Simon if he took this route.
I think he must have done. There's no other way that he could have gone, really.
It's true. And he left the chest behind as well, which which suggests that he has taken a seed, which would fit in
Maybe.
with everything else we know.
Just a thought, but maybe it had to be fully empty for anything to happen. Maybe something's in the bottom of it. No.
You could have told me that before I filled it up with water.
No.
It's too late now.
Okay, so if we're heading down this corridor,
Let's carry on.
can we get into some kind of marching order, sort of like down this pathway as if we're heading forward down the rest of the corridor? So don't come into this corridor, just sort of like organise yourselves that once you go through the two alcoves, you're joined together. So you can walk two abreast.
Then I'm going to walk next. Oh, dang it. I have to walk next to Jeremiah. Okay.
Jeremiah can go further down if
No, it's fine. I'll walk next to him. I'm not going to complain too loudly. I'm not going to cry about it like, well.
It doesn't really matter where I walk.
Go in.
Hazra, do you wish to walk next to Hengist, or do you want Ben to walk up there?
It doesn't really matter where I walk. I'm going to get teleported all over the place anyway, aren't I? No, I was going to walk up the front with Angus.
Okay, so
So Ben would bring up the rear, I would have thought.
The rear with. Oh, that's it. Get on my seat. Make up your mind. Where are you going?
Classic Ben.
okay, he would normally walk.
Can I be on the right?
He would. Well, Ben would normally walk behind
Yeah.
Bartleby in any case.
Yeah. Get over, Ben. Get over, Ben. Ben. Get over.
Okay.
Still.
And as you sort of like head down the corridor, who has the lights?
I have a lantern.
And
We
is that
just
it?
have the lantern at the moment.
Cool.
just the lantern. Yeah.
Okay,
Is
so
it worth? Is it worth me giving the lantern to Jeremiah just so I can have my hands free?
or Bartleby.
Or Bartleby? Yes.
I think I might have a light attached to me, but I
Yeah.
don't actually know.
Okay.
I just, every time I move, I have a light that moves around me.
So let's say
That's
therefore.
unreal.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say therefore that let's take it off. Let's take it off Hazra then. Hazra, do you no longer have it?
Oh, I'm blind.
And you have it now. Does anybody else have it? No.
No.
Cool.
Oh.
Okay then.
No.
Okay, so as you head off the corridor, Bartleby, Jeremiah sort of like leans over to you and says, "I feel a lot safer next to you, Thesist. Please do not push me in front of anything or into the water." And you head off past the sort of like the entranceway into the next corridor, and at that point we will stop and have our 10-minute break. So if you're watching it in the chat, then please, we are going to have a quick 10-minute break so everybody can stretch their legs and grab a beverage and go and have a buy break. So we will be back in 10 minutes precisely.